Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's LCS matchup.
Is that even if you do get dove, you can likely use your passive to kind of clear this out. They're going to scout. They see that the jungler is not there on that side of the map. It is cleared up, so we'll see Armeo likely to start this one out.
Armeo engages with the Winter's Wrath, immediate flash by Bwipo, and Armeo walks it out. Just one more auto attack from Castle, and clean dive only at the cost of one flash from Armeo. First blood drawn for Immortals.
Yeah, nicely done there by Immortals. They make the dive happen. Thankfully for Bwipo, again, utilizes the passive, gets the entire...
Lucio to start up this dragon. It is the first one of the game, and Grubs have just barely spawned, or they will spawn now. So this is really strong tempo from FlyQuest. I don't know if they'll have a chance to contest for Grubs right away.
It's just about you can kind of sustain and stay around. Very likely you're not really at a high risk of being dove here.
Now Bwipo might be in trouble.
No ult.
Armeo is here for the play, and he flashes away. He's going to try to get away from Castle, but with the Hyper Proc passive, he gets movement speed from it, and Bwipo is getting run into Immortals' own jungle, so it doesn't look like Bwipo's going to get out of this one. It will just be an eventual kill. Now, you just got to be careful about okay. Got to be careful about the undead passive from Bwipo and all of them. Run Skelter, make sure that you can't get into the pit and stall the Rift Herald take. The second dragon is getting burned down by Inspired on the flip side of the map. I don't think there's going to be any chance for a contest from FlyQuest to stop Immortals from taking this Rift Herald, so it's just another exchange of neutral objectives. The second dragon, hang on. Bwipo's coming in with the ulti. It is smited by Armeo, but...
Didn't get the eye.
He needs to pick up the... Okay. That would have been so tragic if they could not actually get the eye. Inspired's going to get a decent amount of damage done, but nothing lethal.
Yeah, they ended up chasing after Olay. I feel like they
should have enough time to knock out this tier 1 on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, going to be working away on that. Second Triforce completed on the Immortals side, as it was picked up there by Mask. So, going to be able to finish this off. One more auto will do it, and that is first tower.
FlyQuest into this conundrum where if Bwipo cannot get strong enough to withstand Castle in the side lane, then FlyQuest are going to have to start forcing unfavorable fights for them just to make sure that Castle doesn't take their entire base.
Almost everyone is saying Grubs. I saw a few people saying depends on the team, which I think is fair. You know, if you have a really heavily scaling team and you think you can work towards Soul, you know, then maybe that is more valuable. It definitely looks like most people are on the Grubs. The Grubs just feel so good to use, honestly, in your games. They are so nice, especially if you can get the double grub spawn, if you can get actually all 6. But 5 and a Herald is a lot of early gold.
That's a flash from Mask, but the Temper Fate will land if Bwipo can get in range to look for a Q, but Ole is doing everything he can to buy time for Mask to get out, but the Pyroclasm lands anyway. They managed to trade one back onto Bucio, but it's still a 2-for-1 advantage for FlyQuest.
Yeah, Castle is pushing down on bot. We'll see if he can get anything there. Looks like not really, as Quad just going to take the Hex Gate out to defend that tier 2. They do get chip damage on the tier 2 top, but they can't actually finish it off. And unfortunately,
we know that previous problems for Immortals just came down to indecisiveness and being able to execute when the time came for it.
Well, they're trying to rush this dragon, so we'll see if they can make it happen.
5k HP on the dragon. Inspired steps up. 4k. Glacial Prison goes wide. Doesn't hit Inspired. Hits Bucio instead. They're going to turn right onto Mask and Brute Force through the front. Mask gets picked off. Tempered Fade right onto Armeo. Castle is bullied off of the fight, and he's about to go Mega, but it's a little too late now since Immortals don't have any other members that can really follow up, as Inspired smites the dragon, and Castle is pushed back into the corner, gets one Gnar ulti off and will at least delay the inevitable death from his side, but FlyQuest just making it look so easy to win this fight.
Man, FlyQuesters are just so much better in the 5v5. They are slamming Immortals when it comes to these setup fights.
But right now, there's only a couple wards that they've managed to brute force their way back into their own jungle quadrant, while FlyQuest taking their recall for now, and they should be able to redeploy on the map as Armeo forced to flash, Q's over the wall to safety, but now down to Summoner Spell. Ole caught in the middle of all 5 members. Super Mega Inferno Bomb, decent damage down on Inspired, but Ole still falls. Castle looks for the ulti, but Flash by Quad dodges it. Now Castle's in trouble. Mask trying to fire over the wall. Maybe he can find one onto Inspired, but the Tempered Freight from Bucio will save his jungler for now. Tactical is forced to flash in to decimate the jungler of FlyQuest, but now Tactical is overextended, and he's in trouble. And the Cosmic Binding sets up another kill for Tactical as Armeo tries to come over the wall to bail out his bot laner. Tactical is able to Satchel Charge over. This is such a scrappy, a messy fight, but FlyQuest are still running the show.
Yeah, Tactical trying to run for it. We'll see if he can get out of there. Is going to be able to Hexgate back to safety, so does survive. And we'll actually TP over towards mid lane to try to cover here. Masu He's going to be a little bit careful, but going to be fine as both.
A one-way ticket into the pit if he wants to challenge for a steal. Bwipo and Inspired are currently burning down the Baron, but they're ready to turn since Quad and Busio are already looping around through the right lip of that pit. And Castle is about to go Mega, trying to hunt down Bwipo. Glacial Prison goes really wide. Tactical zone out of the fight. He doesn't have flash, so it's not safe for him to step up. He has to go back around that other wall as Bwipo zones off Castle. Temper Fate is huge onto the back line for 2 members. Cosmic Binding forces Mask to Valkyrie away. Masu still maintaining position in the mid. Ole finds a member onto Masu, but forces him to flash away. Busio able to magical journey out, and now they're repositioning for the fight. Bwipo steps up alongside Inspired. Massive damage, and the Pyroclasm is going to do so much work. Look at the health bars dropping, and Quad comes in for the resets. Goomba stopping every single one. FlyQuest just picked up an ace for nothing.
5 for 0 there for FlyQuest. Oh my god, the start of the fight was looking pretty good for Immortals as Castle chunked Bwipo out so low, but Bwipo is able to actually immune the Meganar ulti with his own ulti. Healing back up. They land this stun over on the Mask. They're pushing him back, but we're back to live and we're back to a fight for soul.
Dragon is aggroed. Bwipo leading the charge against Armeo. Castle looping around on the left side, has Meganar starting to build up. Inspired sees him on the ward, tries to zone him out. Castle about to go Mega. 7,000 HP in the Dragon Pit, 5K. Busio looking for an angle with the Tempered Fate. 2K HP. Armeo trying to burn this dragon down. Tempered Fate goes in, but Armeo gets the smite. Castle whiffs the ulti on Inspired, but as you call it out, Quad is just destroying the inhibitor in the mid lane. And FlyQuest, if they can stop the ports, they can just look to end the game. The arrow doesn't hit. Tactical gets out. The TP saves Immortals' game and their base from crumbling, but FlyQuest are still going to look to hunt down more members from Immortals as they try to turn onto Masu under the tower. It's a good pick from Immortals, but they lose Ole in the process. Bwipo still leading the charge, looking for Mask. They know that he doesn't have flash. Quad jumps in. Glacial Prison is great for Armeo. Mask is still surviving. The explosive charge finally takes him down with the help of Inspired, but Busio and Bwipo are super deep in between these 2 towers, and FlyQuest have overextended their welcome since Tactical is now here to join the fight and will push Bwipo off.
Man, FlyQuest are just diving past the tier 2 there. Bwipo was tanking it up, but they didn't have that much damage, and when Quad goes down, they turn on him. It's just done.
Yep. But FlyQuest still have a massive advantage that they surely should be able to close the game with. Yeah, they did not get Dragon Soul, but Immortals are facing such a heavy gold deficit right now that any fight that FlyQuest just forces, they could win outright just through the power of Wall of Diff, as Bwipo already transitioning his power from mid into the jungle, and they might pick off Armeo here. He has flash, but the CC layering does not give him a chance to get out, and Castle could be next. Bwipo stepping up. The Q is interrupted by Castle's wallop. He walks out. He has the flash, so he's still safe, but FlyQuest continuing the siege into the base.
Yeah, able to get an easy pick there onto Armeo, who was trying to get into his own.
A more composed FlyQuest squad after what we saw in Game 1, since Immortals had such a huge lead, and it seemed like that game could have easily been won by them, as Armeo tanks up the initial CC. Oh wow, the Onslaught of Shadows, or Bwipo's ulti, gets in there, and goodbye Mask. He is done for. Ole is going to be next. Quad getting the resets as Masu picks up another kill. Inspired just zoning off Armeo, forcing him to flash, while the rest of FlyQuest just run down the rest of Immortals. About to be a 5 for 0 ace. FlyQuest, I mean, what can else we say, Azale? This was the expected outcome. Immortals had a decent look in the early game, but FlyQuest just showing up as the better team.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Inspired and Bwipo laughing it up on the player cams, feeling good about this one. FlyQuest are going to take the 2-0 over Immortals.
These were the best highlights from today's LCS matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.